So let's verify the setting here in our new virtual port group here. Here we'll say edit, and for properties you can actually change the MTU, and here for security we can say accept for promiscuous mode, which actually I have the experience for VoIP connection here. In a project actually we wanted just to pass the layer 2 VoIP traffic with the application actually just sniff that packet. And on that situation actually we should change the promiscuous mode to accept. Otherwise in most cases you will say reject, because as I said it will sniff your layer 2 packet. That means in some cases it would be dangerous for your network unless you have the reason why we should actually enable this option. And of course you can separate the traffic by VLAN from the entire network. And here's the traffic shaping. Actually you can enable the traffic shaping. For example, for that virtual switch 1 we can actually select something like, for example, only 50,000 kilobyte here. And here is the teaming and failover, and here you can see your active adapter here and load balancing here, which is a route based on original virtual machine, or you can use a route based on source MAC address or route based on IP hash or the last one. In most cases we need this one. You need to actually configure the port channel on your Cisco devices actually to redundance your virtual switch by using a route based on IP hash. Otherwise, as I said before, in most cases we need actually to use the default option. And as you can see, it tells you that the balancing policy, all physical switch port connected to the active uplink must be in the aggregate mode, which again, in most cases, we are going to use it through the Ether channel switch port. So let me actually paint something for you here. Let's actually exit from full screen. So here our ESXi. And we assign two physical network adapter here. This is going to be the first one and this is the second one. And we associate this with a virtual switch 1, and of course the traffic is going to be connected to the physical switch, something like port 1 and port 2 connected to the Vswitch 1 here. Actually we create Ether channel here. So, and we'll assign these two ports to the port group 1. So with this configuration selected on your Cisco switches, here in our ESXi we can select this option. So that means whenever any physical network is disconnected, it doesn't affect your vSwitch here. Both these physical ports, which is connected to vSwitch 1, will pass the traffic from the ESXi. And this is the great configuration for redundancy and load balancing in your network. So let's maximum the size again and we'll say cancel. And here we can manage physical adapter. We can add another physical adapter to this vSwitch 1. And we'll say okay. We can actually make which one is the master or which one is standby. So I'm going to make them all active at the same time. So the first one is VMNIC 1 and the second is VMNIC 2. In this case, actually, we only have the redundancy. We don't have load balancing. But if you want to have load balancing, as I said before, you should configure your aggregation on your physical switch for that specific port that connected to the ESXi, which in our case VMNIC 1 and VMNIC 2. And these are the properties as you can see. And we'll say okay. And again here we can view the setting. Here the setting of your vSwitch 1 and the properties and the policy here. And of course you can remove the virtual switches, and as you can see we have the error. You can see the error. It tells you that a specific parameter was not correct. So in most cases actually we have the virtual machine that assigned with that virtual switch. So if you want to delete this one, you should actually remove it from your virtual machine. And simply now you can remove your virtual switch if you want. And here we'll go to networking. As you can see, our VM network is accessible and we have one virtual machine and two hosts here. And here we have only enabled this vSwitch 1 to one ESXi and one virtual machine using this VM no switch 1. So of course here we can see the related virtual machine connect to that new vSwitch 1 here and the hosts, as you can see.